Hello, how you doing? Shalom, shalom, Vidamika. Hola. I just wanted to talk to the people, man. I was getting a lot of inboxes. I was getting a lot of inboxes from people that was wanting to know many different things, and I think I owe this to everybody to say this. And what I would like to say is that, I got a lot of brothers that come to me about UCCs and things like that. A lot of people want to know things. But my concern is why. Why do people want to know these things? And the people that want to know these things, you have to look into yourself and you have to ask yourself, well, why do I want to know these things? Either you've been told something, or you have somebody that is doing it and you following them. Somebody told you that was the right thing to do. UCCs are really primarily for businesses, and it's really how one country does business with another. It has nothing to do with the code word for terrorism, which is sovereignty. There's nothing sovereign. Everything is connected. Every single thing. So when people are coming in my inbox and they asking me questions about UCCs, the only thing I can say is study it for yourself. That's the only thing I can say is study it for yourself. Me personally, I don't deal with them. Like, I don't deal with UCCs, so people can please stop asking me about UCCs, because 9 times out of 10, anybody who's in this country trying to act as if they're not, and they're trying to do business, which is a flag to our country, because who are you? We don't know who you are. Like, you might be a terrorist organization, you might be anything, and you have to have alliances, and you have to be sworn in, and you have to have a pledge to do stuff on this land with these particular people, with who we particularly are outside of these bodies. The spirits that's inside these bodies that happen to be alive in this land in this day and time for a reason. The speeding and the quickening of the vibrations of who and what we are on this plane has caused our kids to, as it's been spoken before, come out advanced. It's human evolution. And it can't be stopped. Some people say, oh, well, when is the end of the world? The end of the world started a long time ago. The end of the world as we know it. Look at how people dress now. Look at how people think now. People don't think the same no more. People don't care about no races, about no slavery on some slave ships that they never even found. It takes about 7 to 9 months on a wind sail to get there with no fresh water. People don't listen to that no more. Nobody even cares. I've seen Arab kids not even care. They don't care about doing it. They don't care about going to the mosque. They don't care about it. I've seen people raised in church. They don't care about going to church anymore. They don't care about it. Whatever the parents or that's a whole remnant that has to be destroyed. But in the process of that, though, the law is also organic. And the law also has amendments, which means that it has the potential to grow. And then the courtroom, everybody that's in there is organic. This is act as organs. We supposed to be building a kingdom here. See, this is where it gets confusing for some. See, we collectively as humans are one. We're connected, absolutely. Your heart doesn't beat on a different beat than mine. Everybody's heart beats on the same rhythm, and it's actually a response. It's actually a response to something that was there first, a consciousness out there somewhere. So the point is about this lawless society. Who wants to live in a lawless society? We have to understand that at our age, my generation, what we have to understand is that we are now the aunties and uncles. We are now the daddies and the mamas and all that with kids that's 20 and 19 and 17. We're them now. And so it also makes us the jury. It also makes us about to become judges and prosecutors and attorneys and, managers and business owners and, employers. We're supposed to be building the kingdom. We're supposed to be building the kingdom. We're supposed to be building this world. It says, as above, so below. Another way of saying that is, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. So we're supposed to be bringing that kingdom, that powerful kingdom, here on earth. And the land that was designed to do this, the main primary land is America. It doesn't matter whatever it took for all of us to be over here together right now. Every nationality is here as it was in Egypt. They lied. Every nationality, just like you see United States today, is exactly how it was in Egypt. Yes, every nationality was there, especially when the famines and stuff happened. Come on, people. They got us thinking it was just all melanated, dark-skinned people in, Egypt or with the Mizraim, which is Egyptians. And yeah. So there was every nationality. So what those pyramids represent, I'm going to go there today. What those pyramids really represent is togetherness of human. The human, when the humans come together, what they can build could never be destroyed. There is no limit to what we can do when we're all together. Not one nationality alone or two or three can create or recreate those akus, those pyramids there. It takes all of us. That's why they're still there. A sign to keep us remembering what happens when we come together. Now, on the back of the dollar, you see that. You see the capstone there. I keep talking about the top of the pyramid is being cut off. No, there is no top of the pyramid. There's a capstone there. See? And when it's on the back, it's in the United States seals on the right side of the dollar. And it says one, because we're one. We're doing the same thing. We've built an unbelievable society here that's operating off mental more than value. It's not operating off money. So it is important that there is law. It is important that since we're the aunties, we're the uncles, we're the fathers, we're the mothers now in the community, it is important that we don't allow our nephews to kill our friends' kids that we went to school with. There you go. We have to stop our children from doing things ourselves. Then, even if we witness this, that's somebody, if somebody's shooting in your community, that's somebody's grandson. That's somebody's nephew. That's somebody's daughter's boyfriend, fiance, husband. That's somebody's brother. That's somebody's neighbor. So why we can't get in touch with them? Well, what you want to get in touch with them for? Because we're supposed to talk to them. Because we can't we can't expect help in our communities to come from outside places. It just makes no sense. Why do we need outside help of our own communities? So we need people from other nationalities, people from other upbringings, people of other cultures to come into ours and fix our own problems for us, because we're what? Waiting around for what? For some magical or mythical or spirit, some sorcerer or social engineers to come up with some type of laws to control our children? We used to be the children. We used to be the little niggas, all out in the hood trying to get guns, smoking weed, whatever. We didn't shoot as much. But a lot of the beef with the gangs and all of that, that's our parents and their parents. We wasn't even there. We didn't even have nothing to do with it. Most of us don't even care about it. Beefing for what? Oh, he's wearing red, he's wearing blue, he's wearing blue. Nobody does that anymore, man. Ain't nobody on that, man. Nobody, our generation. And so our children are definitely not on it. And this is why we have to make sure that we understand why law is so important and why it has to exist. Because there are laws in heaven. Those laws even break down to why the sun is the distance it is from the planet and getting closer. Or why our whole solar system is hurtling through space millions and millions of miles an hour. There's laws. And if any of those laws get out of function or be broken, then it sets off a chain reaction through the whole system. It's just like writing software. It's just like writing an incendiary. So there has to be law. There has to be the enforcement of law within us. These laws are divine. These laws, I asked the person, I said, well, have you ever went to school with a prosecutor or a judge? Do you know any of them? You know what they always say? No. Matter of fact, I haven't. There's a verse in the Bible. I don't really get into religion a lot, but I have to at this point in time sometimes to make people understand things differently. Romans 13, it says, let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted. And those who do so will bring judgment on themselves. For rulers hold no terror to those who do right. You see? If you're doing right, what you got to worry about? What you need to get solving for? What you need to try to do all these documents and papers for? Why do you think you need to get with this group or that group? You don't know them people. You don't know what their intentions are. The FBI does. The government does. They have bad intentions. I've followed many people. I've seen many things. And it's been bad. Where I'm trying to do for the good. Mixed up. There's enemies on both sides. It says in 13:3, it says, for rulers hold no terror for those who do right, but for those who do wrong. Do you want to be free from fear of the one in authority? Then do what is right, and you will be commended. For the one in authority is God's servant for your good. But if you do wrong, be afraid. For rulers do not bear the sword for no reason. They are God's servants, agents of wrath to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. Therefore, it is necessary to submit to the authorities, not only because of the possible punishment, but also for a matter of consciousness. This is also why you pay your taxes, for the authorities are God's servants. Yes, who give their full time to governing. Give to everyone that you owe. If you owe taxes, if you pay taxes. If you owe revenue, then revenue. If respect, then respect. If it's honor, then honor. Let no debt remain outstanding except for the continuing debt to love one another. For whoever loves others has fulfilled the law, the commandments. You should not commit adultery. You should not commit murder. You should not steal. You shouldn't covet. Whatever others command, whatever commands there may be, are summed up in this one command. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love does no harm to neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. And do this, understanding the present time. The hour has already come to you to wake up, for you slumber. Because our salvation is nearer now than when we first started believing or studying this stuff, our parents and grandparents. So let us put aside the deeds of darkness and put on the armor of light. Let us behave decently, as in the daytime, not in carousing and drunkenness, and not in sexual immorality and debauchery, not in dissension and jealousy. Rather, clothe yourself with Lord Jesus Christ, or with holiness, or with righteousness, or with law. And do not think about how to gratify the desires of the flesh. Now, we are not 19 no more. We are not 25 no more. We are not 27. And there's people that are a lot more mature than we were when we were that age and today, at the age we are now. I'll go on and say that. I love my young people. They are doing a heck of a job out there with people they're looking up to in our generation and a little bit older, because our generation must continue to lead. We're not done. Just because your kid is 18, you're not done. Just because your kid is 25, you're not done. This is what's happening in our communities because we think we're done. Oh, it ain't my kid. I ain't worried about it. Well, how is that possible when your job is supposed to be building the kingdom? If you and your neighbor, and that neighbor, if you're working, if you're owning businesses, all those many different types of things that you could be doing to school, furthering your education, whatever you're doing to contribute to what? Society. To contribute to society. You want a store, you don't realize it, but you're contributing to society. You're becoming in service to the public. If you have a product and someone's buying that, you are in service to the public. You are supplying something that humans are using on the planet. You are helping with the kingdom. You are helping create. We can create a world that we want. We have. We've used fear. We've used fear. We've used fear. Fear has almost been eliminated from these generations. Our children's children is coming. We're the grandparents out there now, and we don't care about our communities. There's nobody that's going to stand for righteousness' sake. Even for your own kids, do you want your kids getting shot by your neighbor's kid? The kid that lives down the street, the kid that goes to school with them? Because something's not getting through to them because something never got through to the parents. This goes for all. This goes for every type. You can be poor, you can be rich. It's the same thing going on with everybody. People in these different little groups, little cliques. Let me clear something about the Moorish Science Temple of America. First off, when you join the Moorish Science Temple of America, like you join any legal, chartered organization, society, religion, whatever, the card says we are citizens. You are a citizen of the United States of America. The U.S.A. Continental. You are a citizen of the United States of America, and you are an ally, and you are supposed to provide your services to the United States because we're citizens. That's anything outside that is not the Moorish Science Temple. And guess what? You're not lawfully chartered. We don't know your intentions. Especially if you come in with this UCC stuff, you come in with this, oh, you need to sign this document right here and this document right there. Why can't you just be who you are? You don't need any documents. Those things fade away. You know what I mean? Those things fade away. That's 9 times out of 10. It's incorrect information. A lot of people love dwelling on the past when they don't realize we're still building the future with today, the present. We forget that if we don't use the present correctly, then the future is going to be off. So it's cause and effect. So you have a group of people that call themselves whatever they call themselves. They feel like they're outside the law. They feel like they can go into a courtroom and try to tell off a judge. They feel like they can go into a courtroom. They feel like they can get away with any crime that they do because they this or because they that. Because they ancestors this or because they ancestors that. Well, your ancestors signed a contract somewhere. Anyway, that's why you're here. Still, anyway. And the reason why you're here is a lot more important than that. Trying to get some nationality documents, trying to get some UCC form. Your existence on this planet is way more important than that and way bigger than that. Okay? We are no different than each other on this planet. We are the humanoid species. If we didn't have eyes, there wouldn't be a such thing as nationality, period. There we go. What color are you? We wouldn't even know. That's how real it is in the real world. Because the real world is a spiritual world. There is no bodies. And each person who has a body, it means you have an identification card. You are authorized to be here on this planet because you have a body to operate in. Your body is not who you are because it is a thing of the finite. It means it was created, which means it has a day when it's got to pass away. But the spirit is infinite. It doesn't die. There is no death. And there was a time before this planet when we all were together. When we forgot all of that. We came down here and used the things of the physical manifest to separate ourselves. When we're collectively supposed to be all together doing something together. One thing it can't be done without law. Law has something to do with everything. How your house is built, how the car operates, how the airplane flies. Law has to do with how your skin is not even connected truly, but it's a magnetic field that holds it around your body. There are laws when it comes to chemistry. There are laws when it comes to physics. There are laws when it comes to society. We created these laws to protect ourselves, for morality. That verse said right there that, hey, more so than the punishment, for your consciousness' sake. Because you shouldn't want to be trying to steal. Because you shouldn't want to be trying or be wanting to take, to rob, to steal, to poison our communities, our brothers and our sisters, to get something or get somewhere in a physical world. which will pass away. We must understand the mechanics of how things operate. There are laws that make sure that your paycheck is deposited into your account on payday, or that paycheck is there for you when you work that 40 hours or that 20 or whatever. There are laws that protect, that ensure that if you pay the light company, then they're going to keep your lights on. We did that. There are laws to try to make sure that people are not just being raped on the street at will. And the person raping them can say, I can rape them because I'm a Moor, because I'm a Hebrew, because I'm a Christian, because I'm a pastor, because I'm a police officer, because I'm a government official, because I'm rich, because I'm a star, because I'm an athlete, because I'm popular in school, because of... Who wants to live in a lawless society? Who wants to live in a society where a person can say, I can do that because I'm this, I'm that. I can shoot this kid because I got a badge. I can rob this dude right here for his sneakers because I got a gun. As if that's what you're supposed to be doing with the gun. In fact, sometimes the gun's not even necessary. Sometimes it's necessary for hunting and things that it was truly designed for. For those that eat meat. There's only so many levels and degrees you can even receive when you eat meat. Yeah. So these laws are in place. The law that ensures that our children have to go to school, because guess what? If the parent is, the thing that comes from that, if the parent is hurt, if the parent's on drugs, if the parent is laid out or whatever it is, sometimes they'll come by to see what's going on because their child, and sometimes maybe even save a life. And not only the child's life either. And we have to work collectively as a community of humans on this planet. Our generation, we're going to do it. We don't care if somebody's Russian, not my generation and the generations under me. We don't care about no Chinese people being Chinese, or some Arab being Arab, or some Panamanian being... We don't care. We're cool with everybody. We don't care. We don't care about what Bush and them was talking about. Nobody gives a damn, man. We don't care about what happened with some ancestors along. We don't care anymore because it's so important to concentrate on the future. We cannot continue to keep talking about people and things in the past. And stay on it. Don't ever go to the future. Well, because that happened in the past, we're going to do this. Because this happened in the past, we're going to create this. We're going to come together. We don't do that. Our generation is. We are. We're going to do it. We don't care about the many divisions of modes and just all of that. Like, we don't. If you're going to do any of it, bring love in there. Bring law in there. There are laws there too. On down to a gang or society, there's laws there too. But I don't want to live in a world where there's just one type of people that it appears that we're different people because we have different tones of our skin. We have different earth matter surrounding us. So we found a way to separate humanity and then start saying that this person is a different race, when there's only one race, the human race. And we've been talking stupid for so many years. In the church, in the mosque, in the shrine, in the temple. Talking stupid, man. But our generation, we the generation that found out how Martin Luther King really died. You understand me? We the generation that found out that the doctor went in there and smothered him with a pillow. And now they got lawsuits and all kind of stuff going. They done paid to try to get it off YouTube and CNN and all of that. Our generation went back and found that. Not our parents. They were satisfied with what they were told. Like they were told we all came here on some slave ships for 6 to 7 months, 6 to 9 months on the wind sail, without no fresh water. They told them that, and they was like, okay, well, let's just spread it on. That's bullshit, man. It doesn't even take a brain scientist to understand. I can go get one of my sons. They can explain that that's absolutely not true. It's not possible. And plus, we got museums of all kind of stuff, ancient, millions of years old, but we don't have not one slave ship. We need to stop it. There's no separate. There was not even a such thing as racism before the made-up story about Christopher Columbus that sailed in here on the Santa Maria and the good ship Jesus, all of that. I'm not really into history anymore. It took that for me to get to where I am now with comprehending purpose and why humans are even on the planet in the first place. A demonstration. And it's deeply indebted in law. There is a law as to why your spirit is not leaving your body right now. It's laws. There's laws that govern our atmosphere. You see, that hurricane is part of a balance in our atmosphere. We're doing it to the earth. If the earth needs to do its thing, we're supposed to just move out of the way. It's not going to let us kill it now. Somebody's mama, and they're not going to just let their kids kill it now. Come on. Respect the earth. Because the earth is operating in law. It is in perfection, and so is the sun. A demonstration of night and fire. It's a perfect balance of light and darkness. And that's what we are supposed to master in ourselves. A perfect balance. The spirit being inside of the flesh is an example of that, what we call a 6-point star. It's called a alpha hex or a hex alpha or the dual trine. It is a representation of the spiritual, which is the upright pyramid that we think is a pyramid or a triangle. And the downward is the lower self. That's the flesh. It is a representation. When it's put together, it forms what we call a key, a Star of David, or a hex alpha, or a 6-point star, which is a representation of perfect balance. But eventually, you want to make that spiritual over the flesh. You see a compass in a square, you always see the compass over the square because it represents spiritual over flesh. There's a law. We have to get back to that. When we get back to that, that's when we'll start loving each other more. So if we loving each other more, we're not going to just stand by and watch innocent people get killed. We're not going to let broad daylight while there's children getting off the bus, East End, West End, whatever, and just shooting go on with kids by older kids that's showing younger kids how to have shootouts in the middle of the day when children are getting off the bus and playing in yards and trying to play. They can't even play no more. They can't even go to the park. We're not going to help create a lawless society. There is no fear but fear itself. We're not. We're not going to create a lawless society. We're gonna reinforce until we can get to a peaceful people on this planet worldwide. We are, and it takes our generation. Our generation is what's doing it because we're dating. We're interbreeding with what they call interbreeding. We're mixing in like we're supposed to. We're supposed to absorb them that don't have melanation. Save them. We're getting closer to the sun. We know what the sun does to us. Some of us. Gives some of us energy. Burns some of us. Gives us cancer. Because of certain bodies not having melanation. They're still us. They still have the same human mother and father. Is that not your brother? If I stand next to you and we got the same mother, the same bloodline, the same one mother that created all, are we not brothers? Are we not sisters and brothers? Are we not family, distant relatives, coming from one mother who all men come from, who all women come from? After the replication of herself or the reproduction of herself. And sometimes she mutates and becomes a male in the second trimester. And then he comes up with 2 inactive glands on his chest that's supposed to remind him where he come from because there's no such thing as a male egg on the planet in no species ever. They are all female eggs, and every man that starts off, it starts off as a female egg. And then we got this belly button that knocks off all stories about some woman coming from a man, because every man that has a belly button is proof that he had to come from a woman. And that respect and that honor for the woman is lost. We don't exist without a woman. That whole respect and honor for our women is lost. And now my generation, some of us, we're bringing it back. Because you can't... I just wanted to hit on society a little bit and ask people to please stop inboxing me about UCCs, because I'm going to give you what you don't want. Some real shit. Yeah. Because it's not. Collectively, we're supposed to be helping each other. That's what the United States is for. These states are independent, but collectively, they're united. That's why you never went to school with a judge. Because there's something different about who they are, what they are. School with a prosecutor. It's because it's something different that you're not paying attention to as to what they are, truly. And it needs to be respected. Just like there are positions in heaven, the same is reflected down here on earth. So, as above, so below. So if you're looking at a judge, you may be looking at an archangel in the flesh, because as above, so below. So if they have authority here, they have authority up there too. And we all know we operate on multiple planes at the same time. It's about our consciousness, is what are we paying attention to. You know, we just pay attention to the physical a lot. We don't go into meditation enough. We don't season our bodies enough to be able to hold some of the light, to be able to even share the light. First, you got to have the light. It takes conditioning. And I love all humans. And I'm glad I have my citizenship. It works more for you than against you. And especially when you find out the reason why you, in particularly, were born in this time and why you are on this planet. It was not to suffer. It was not to suffer. You were not born during this day and time to go through perilous, horrible memories and horrible experiences. You were not created for that. Your attention has been sidetracked so bad that we can't get back to the work, not your job, but the work that we were here to do, because that work has got something to do with certain talents that you have, gifts that you came here with, and everybody has some. Some have more than others, all have different ones, some have the same, I don't know. That's what you're supposed to be doing. As far as surviving, living, you know, it needs to be in the talent that you have. It could be drawing, it could be singing, writing poetry, it could be building things, architecture, chemistry. It could even be in like the medical field. However, or whatever, you know, brings joy to you, and in the same sentence, be a service to humanity, being available for humanity. Okay, we see that there are alternative sentencing programs out there. Okay, our states, it's not their job. Our federal government, it's not their jobs to come up with things to help the community and then bring those things to them. Well, how do you do that? Nonprofits, 501c3s, however they want you to do it on this paper for this kingdom that we're in, this country that we operating in right now. It's rules. Okay, well, let's just do what they're talking about. Okay, well, when you do what they're talking about, you get what you need to help the people. Because the difference is one person died and another person didn't. The person that didn't is belonging to some people, some organization that was telling him, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We're into helping uplift fallen humanity. We're going to do it. We're going to help. Okay. But they didn't do the proper paperwork, so they never got the money. So this dude over here wound up dead. This dude over here wound up starving to die. This dude over here, these people over here wind up doing, they got the same thing going on, same belief, whatever. They did the paperwork. So these people over here, they helped them, fed them, got them jobs, got them clothes. Guess what the difference was? Action was the difference. Results that were helping, actually helping. People that can come and say, oh, well, Brother Moshe, oh, well, Brother Kenny, he helped do this, or he helped do, or this organization, the Order of the Ancients, they helped me with this, they did this, they went and did trash drives, downtown Lexington, trash drives, downtown Louisville, trash drives, Clarksville, Indiana, trash drives, we just pick up trash as a service to the community. We're supposed to have community events. You're our ancestors, you're our friends, you're our neighbors, you're our family. We're all part of the human family. Because this is what we're doing down here on earth. This is what we were doing, the human thing, the physical thing down here. There must be order. If we can learn to love, if we can learn to love each other more, stop talking about, what is the point in talking about each other? What's the point? If it ain't to their face and meant to actually build them, encourage them, then we already know from our own parents, we already know from our own family members what it feels like to be beat down, screamed at and yelled at and told this and told that, and them not even be absolutely correct themselves. And I just think that it's an absolute disgrace, okay, when you got a wealthy white child or European, light melanated or non-melanated individual on the planet, or a dark melanated black person, whatever they want to call themselves, on the planet, for any reason, both of them's rich, they next door neighbors, they can both go to two different schools and they shoot it up. Do you know that they parents missed something? Of course, the parents thought that after it happened, oh, we missed him. We didn't even know he was like that, because they got these cell phones, and porn is 2 clicks away. And learning how to clean cut and all that, saw off a shotgun, shoot a gun, all that stuff is one tap away. It wasn't like that for us. And what we had, it wasn't like that for our parents. We were too much for them. Our grandbabies put them in their graves. Give them a heart attack. Look at how women dress now. Look on Facebook. Look at how women are dressing. Look how they're just showing their bodies. The phallus. Here we are. Due to the phallus. The state we're in right now is due to the phallus. But look at how men dress. Look at how a lot of these men dressing. Tight stuff on. They want you to see their legs and all this type of stuff like that. Want to smell good stuff. Look at the women. They want body curving stuff. No clothes at all almost. I mean, we're creating this society. We're saying it's okay. There's nothing wrong. And it's not saying, oh, there's something wrong with it without explaining why. But first off, how you present yourself, young ladies, how you present yourself tells a lot about who you are. And understand that how some of these women present themselves on TV is a character. It is not how they present themselves when they're in the public. They are not wearing things like that. They're being paid endorsements for companies to wear things like that. You wearing it for free. They wearing it for $200,000. You see, it's an old man's dream today. It's an old man's dream today. I see these old men in these barbershops. It's an old man's dream the way these women dress. They never thought they'd see today. Women walk around with butt cheeks hanging out. I'm not saying I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. You got me messed up. I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm a male. I'm supposed to like stuff. I'm just saying, though, in retrospect, it wouldn't be someone like that I would be with, because it would be impossible, because her mental, if she thinks, if that is comfortable for her in the public, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do with her. Not at the present moment. See, so, and there's only, there's nothing I can do. But the other men say there's a few things I can, or whatever. But who wants to live in a lawless society? Who wants to live? There's a law. That law right there, when it comes to presentation, it is first impressions. It tells you a lot about a person. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Nails, shoes, teeth, mouth, hair, presentation, how you dress. You go to a job interview wearing a tank top and some flip-flops. Presentation. It means what? About your mental. It ain't, they didn't hire me because I came in here. It's because your mentality can't be correct enough for this job to have you making money for this corporation. Is important. We need someone who can do it. We don't need somebody who haven't had the proper thoughts and learned the proper lessons to even know basic things. And the other part of it is respecting yourself. Even knowing that you're supposed to respect yourself. There's children. You got kids. They go into middle school and high school. You still dressed like they still showing your body still, and then their friends is looking at you on Facebook. The kids' children, the children's friends is looking at you. The children's friends is talking, daddies is talking about you, and then your little girl just watching it all, and so she's sucking it in that, hey, it's okay to wear virtually nothing. What? Making love? What is that? I ain't never heard of that. Making love? Well, we fuck. We have sex. And it's our fault, parents, that they not understand what making love, what love making is, and really what these organs down here are really, really, really supposed to be for, which is strictly for reproduction. It's not about satisfying the flesh. It really wasn't. And God knew this would happen. That's why He made the garden. And He made His people a certain way. And there's others that just couldn't wait to show the daughters of men how to procreate. A galactic law. It's the infinite choice of free will. There can't be anything in creation that violates that galactic law of free will. Free will is very necessary. It is a galactic universal law. It is the reason why God created out of Himself a great creator. He created this planet and everything in this world. And that was a choice too. So, our babies are dying out here, y'all. Our sons and our daughters, they getting locked up. Our babies are dying. They talking about, let's go do a song over here, same time up the street. It's a little girl getting raped. It's a little boy getting raped. Then we all go out to eat like nothing, and the next day go on to work like nothing's wrong. Like they're not even a part of you. You have no concern with what just happened to these people, but because they're not kin to you, they're not kin to me. It's not my family. I don't know them. You don't know them. They obviously look human, right? They look human, so why not? Love has to come back into our lives. Love has to. Our generation, we have to enforce love. We have to show these children what love is again. We're fighting so much, baby mamas, baby. We're fighting so much. They don't even want it. They don't even want to be in relationship. They're learning that relationships are not what it is. It's just having sex. We're showing them that. Skip what we think we telling them. They ain't listening. They watching. They watching mommy bring this man, that man, that man, that man in here. So now they gonna go do it. They watching daddy bring this woman, this woman, this woman. So now they gonna go do it. far away from comprehending what love even is. And they can't. Because the demonstration that's being demonstrated to them is front of them is, mommy got this guy, I know this guy, this guy, he be giving me money, he be giving me his money. So mommy's got guys that come over all the time, and some of them give the kid money or different things like that, buy them stuff, and they start thinking of men of being objects like that. They start thinking that that's what a man's job is to do. That's what our purpose is. That's the purpose of dealing with a man, is to get him to buy you things, to get him to spend money, to get him to, get his pocket out. Like our generation of women have taught their daughters this. And some of our generation of women have not taught our daughters that. Some of them, and don't get me wrong, some of them have busted their butts and went out there every day to show their sons and show their daughters how powerful a woman is without a man or with a man. Yes, they have. Yes, there are women out there like that. And hats off, there are fathers out there like that, that are raising their daughters, that are raising their sons, and they doing it, and they know they don't need a woman to do it. That's a demonstration. But when we demonstrating that we can't have, then this guy comes along and now we have. That's a bad demonstration. And they start thinking, and these kids, that's what they think. They think that they're supposed to make these guys give them things. They get on Facebook and they get on these social media and they want them to send them cash out money, and they want them to, they want Gucci, they want, they want velour, they want red bottoms, they want, this is what they want. This is what they've seen. This is what we showed them. Because most of it's what our parents showed us, their generation, about their foolishness. You see. So we say we love our children. We say that we want them to make it in society. What society? The society you and I are making, are creating right now. And we don't even know it. Most of us don't know it. We don't know that we're creating a society right now. How are we doing that? The way we're communicating, the way we're dressing. What we find valuable, like now it's VVS's. If you ain't got VVS's, you ain't got no diamonds. Things that man has made important, that are carnal and temporary and must pass away. It's not real. We creating this world as we go. Everything. Look at the new Democrats that came in. It tripped me out. They look really cool. They look like our generation. Our generation is about to be the governors. Our generation is about to be the new mayors. Our generation is about to be the new juries, the new, captains, and the new lead detectives, and the new chief of police and chief of firemen, and the chief nurse and chief doctors at the hospitals, and executive lawyers and business owners and CEOs. It's our time. We need to build this world correctly with what we can, with the tools we've been given. We need to do our part. Because if we do our part, we are automatically doing something to change the world. Because we're bringing a service to the people. Even if it's just changing a flat tire. Being available for that to happen for somebody. It's kingdom principles. They say, I want to start a business. Now you want to start a business where you go on the IRS, you get your idea, write it down, get your plan together, go on the IRS.gov site, apply for an EIN, go file your articles with the state, obtain all licenses and everything you need there. Go to the bank, open an account, pay your registered agent. There you go. That information is what's supposed to be being taught in some of these temples, some of these mosques, some of these churches. Real life survival stuff. You got talent in your congregations, people, pastors. You've got talent out there. You've got major business potential in your congregation. There's the force right there. There it is right there. In your church. That's the new guy that owns the new Walmart is sitting right there in your church. You're a businessman. You started at 501c3, the church. It's indemnified with the state, right? Church and state's one, right? So you got strings. You can pull strings. You can get unlimited training, basically for free, for your congregation. You could help contribute to the country, the world, by releasing effective students, releasing effective graduates, releasing effective ministers, releasing effective. It means they're doing stuff out here. They got a shoe store, they got a gas station, they got a convenience store in our own community for once. Effective. You need help filing what? I need help filing my SS4. Effective. In these churches, in these mosques. Because you have to understand there's a business side too. Because there's law. There's law. It's imitated in the church with tithes and different things like that, but you can do community service, and so you can do service in the church, or service in the mosque, in the temple, in the shrine, many different places, lodge, They can't stop our mentality. It's already prophesied or spoke about what we're supposed to do, greater things. I'm afraid to say this, but it has nothing to do with religion. God has nothing to do with religion, fam. Nothing. Man created that to simplify things and also to control people too, but to simplify, it was really supposed to simplify things that the people, laws that the people were just not willing to, I don't know what's wrong with people. It's always been something wrong with people on this planet. Nobody wants to be here anyway once they realize what's really going on. But it's law. It's enforced. Because you can't just jump up in the air and fly unless you learn about another law, a superior law that allows you to float around or fly around. The law of water, H2O. If you put H2O, this law. You put H2O in a cup of water, in a cup, put H2O in a cup, and you pour it out. When you lift it upside down, it's just going to pour out. The same H2O, if you put it in a freezer, though, if you introduce a new law, temperature, if you introduce a new law to that same water and you put it in the freezer for a long enough time and you take it back outside and you lift it upside down, it's not even going to move. It's not going to pour out. Because now we've changed the properties of that which always existed. We've changed the elements. We've changed the way we talk. We've changed the way we study. We've changed the way we understand things. The way we're hearing things. The way we're reading things needs a new way. The old way wasn't working, and it wasn't on nobody else in a different community to come into ours and save us, so it's on us to survive. We need to stop looking for answers outside of ourselves and outside of our communities. We got some of the most powerful and brilliant people. And you know what gets them carried away? Drugs. Why? Because they got ambition and stuff, but they just don't have nobody to get them where they need to get. They don't have a place to just pull up at where they can get what they need to get to start their own business, or start off on the studio or music or whatever product they're trying to come up with. Understand this, people. When you are doing music, you're trying to get a product. You're not doing it because you can do it because you like it. Everybody loves their talent. Everybody loves what they can do. But understand that you're trying to get a product so that you can sell your product. It's not about, you shining and all that. All that is marketing for a product. Just like anything. If you got some type of dish detergent you came out with, that's a product. You're looking for the same distribution. In fact, more, because music can only get on certain platforms, musical platforms. You're looking at physical. You come up with an idea, there needs to be somebody that's in the church, there's somebody that's in the mosque, there needs to be somebody that's in the temple that can help further that, develop that. There are positions There are positions in places for a reason, because law puts them positions in effect by people for a reason in the first place, because that is divine. Law is strictly divine. It is the reason why you are still breathing right now. Law is. Law is the reason why you are listening to this right now. There are so many different laws as to why you are watching this right now. Like I said, Romans 13, check it out. Make you change your mind about even doing crime. Make you change your mind about really what we're doing. Man knows not by being told. So we was told some stuff that just wasn't right. There's no reason that anyone should give away their true birthright, which is a United States citizen. There are so many benefits that come with that. We are the children of those that went to war. We are the great grandkids of those who went to war for this land to be able to operate. We fought. Now hold on now, because this is what I tell some of my people now that's from different places that come over and get to talking. Now, we fought to be here now. We might have fought each other or whatever happened, but there was still a fight. Some people got shot. Some people got beat up. So a whole bunch of that happened now for our people now. You know, whether you're European, you're French, if you're black, Moorish, whatever. We fought now to be here now. But we were predestined to be here. We just had to fight, though, because we want to be obedient and just come together. We love rulership. That's what we did. We love rulership. They say, oh, well, black man sold the first black man into slavery. Man, that's so silly. Man sells man into slavery. Ain't no black, white. It was all kind of different slaves throughout what we call time, period. Since antiquity, which is even beyond the formation of this planet, we existed somewhere else, doing a lot greater things. We're trying to get back to that. We have a mission to complete while we're on this planet. This is for my generation. This ain't for our parents' generation. They can't understand what we understand, and we know that. We better hope that our children can, that we can understand our children. They moving in a very, very fast pace, way faster than we did. We know our parents they ain't really did no studying like that. They're part of a generation that repeats things. Like if you go, they repeat verses and stuff in Bibles. They just keep repeating the same thing throughout the years. This one book, their whole life, just repeating things. That's the simplified version of it, because it is fact and truth. And truth owes no apology, and it don't change, nor does it pass away. Same thing in some of these temples. You keep teaching the same thing. You keep repeating yourself. You keep repeating on the one-on-ones. You keep repeating these things for years, a whole lifespan. That's how crazy y'all look to our generation. Y'all spent y'all's whole life talking about one subject. And you can't get out of the past. That's what I call it. Can't get over the past to discover what we have before us right now. You're looking for finance? It's available right now. Right in our face. And it's got a lot to do with your dual citizenship or your citizenship. And it's very important never to denounce any citizenship with the United States. It is very important to never do that, because you will be cutting your own self out of what your ancestors fought for, which is a birthright. That's the best birthright that I've, through history of researching, have ever seen. If not, do you want to live in a lawless society? You want your own, right? Oh, you a Hebrew, or you a Moor, you want your own, right? You want your own land so you can build your own houses, have your own community. Well, who's going to be the police? And when they decide to gang up on you and knock you the fuck out, then who's going to come? What authority's going to govern that land? You don't, because you're too busy trying to help people get out of jail, get out of prison for doing crime. Now, if they didn't do a crime, if they didn't mean to do that crime. If they didn't mean it, if they didn't purposely try to do that crime, then yes, by all means, you're supposed to help them. But look at who you are. When you want to think that it's okay to do a crime and then do no time, do not be punished for it. That's a lawless society. There's no organization you can run to try to get saved from the wrath of the law. If it is, then they're a lawless organization and they're a terrorist to us, which are the builders of the kingdom that are here. Some of us are identified, some of us are not. We were coming through jails. We were going, yes, myself included, we're going all around the country helping people with cases. Why do we want to help them win? To release them into our society, which we have to parent, which we have to patrol, because it's on us now. It's not on our parents. Oh, we ain't got to worry about that because we got a governor. And well, we're about to be the governors. We're about to be the mayors. We're about to be, someone has to be the chief of police. Somebody has to love the world enough, love our people enough to offer what they've been given, the talent that they have, as a service to the people of this planet. And when we get there, when we understand that collectively we're one family and we're supposed to be in service to each other, and that's what makes the creator of this world happy. And the 12 thrones around happy. And all the logos is above him happy. Because all there is unity. That's all there could ever be. And we try to demonstrate differently here. And so since we do that, by shooting, killing, robbing, stealing, discouraging each other, it proves that we don't understand who we are or what we are. And I don't care what religion you go into. That religion's not going to help you find out who you are. That society is not going to help you find out who you are. That job is not going to help you find out who you are. It may be a great job, but you have a work to do. And your finance is supposed to be brought to you through your works, or he's a liar. And I don't think that's possible. It is your faith. It is your action. I was talking to a sister last night about action. Faith without works is dead. You can pray all you want. If that's all you're doing is let's just pray for them, but then you're incorrect. According to the Christian Bible, you're incorrect just to pray for somebody, just to pray for the many people that you passed up that were homeless, that were out there selling dope, trying to make a way to feed their kids on your way to go worship at a church. That's not God's people, player. Their hearts couldn't do it. My heart couldn't do it. I'm ready to go worship and collectively with other people who are collectively helping build this kingdom, which is what we're supposed to be doing. Okay? And then we're going to pass up people in despair, okay, to go somewhere and worship. And it says you're supposed to enter in with praise, and people don't even do it. They come and watch the show. I'm telling you, man, all that is the death of a remnant. As a remnant is being killed off. So yes, the earth has been coming to an end. It's been being destroyed in the way that we know it. The earth as we know it. The way we used to know what to wear. In the way that we used to know how to judge, how to look, how to operate. It's changing. How many doctors we got now? It's different. How many lawyers we got? It's different. We have to concentrate on the future and stop worrying about the past. Stop battling about who knows more about the past. And start battling to be progressive now for the future. You gotta leave your children something. You have to establish something and give them flowers while they yet live, and I won't mind while I yet live on this planet. I don't want them after I'm gone, because I like to smell flowers. Yeah, we've been deceived. You think that guy over is Chinese, you've been deceived. That's your brother, that's a human. He has the same mother and father. If it's got a belly button, it started with a mother somewhere. Period. And that's just common sense. And that whole honor needs to go back to the woman. We need to stop calling her out of her name. She's much more. We can't even be here without her. You cannot be greater than that which created you. And she created us oh so perfectly in her womb, without that sound of a hammer or a chisel or a saw. And we were made oh so perfectly. The Spirit, however, that's God. Only He can create such a thing that is infinite. So it always has been. So it's a part of Him. So we're a part of God. So we are, and we're supposed to be demonstrating here the marvelous things we can do when we come together as a human race. Like a pyramid is still standing over, because everybody in the human race helped build those. And I challenge anybody that says different about that, because I can prove it over and over and over. Many different ways and languages I can prove it. I'm not the only one that can prove it. It took all of us, all of our thoughts and science. Genetically, when we come together, we're able to do things that are marvelous and miraculous. And those pyramids are a marvel. But when you're looking at them pyramids, you're looking at the exact same thing when you're looking at the United States. Marvelous. Has established itself with everybody's help. We are here now. We're not going back to the 1400s. We're not going back to the 1787, 1887, 1876. We don't need to go back there anymore. For what? A people that don't know where they come from can't know where they're going, right? Well, you got to get going at some time. You can't just on one level. You can't just stay in the past. You need to explain to everybody why it's so important to know the past in order to build the future, and then demonstrate that. You see, not talk about it. Faith without works is dead. Prayer, all that talking stuff without doing nothing is dead. Nothing's happening. I'm gonna pray for my nephew. Nothing's happening. Did you go see what was going on? What did they need? Something wrong with their tire? Did you help try to go change it or fix it or send a couple of dollars? You have to have action. I don't want to go to work, but you went to work. What does that mean? You do things you don't want to do? Not really. You do what you want to do. See, because in the end, if you truly didn't want to do something, you won't do it. Facts. But I'm closing. I just wanted to touch on that, because people are confused about my status and really what I'm really about. And like I said, at this point, I'm really about helping build this kingdom. I have respect, a whole different respect for judges and prosecutors and people in law and in medicine, and I have a whole different type of respect for what I know what they are. I mean, I know who they are, but I know what they are. And the same importance that they are here, as above, so below, they're important there too. And some of us are supposed to be in our positions too. And we're not getting trained, we're not getting the education, we're not getting the encouragement or the development, because we've been waiting on people older than us that aren't demonstrating shit. All these more science, there ain't no schools. All these modes, ain't no learning centers. All these Israelites ain't enough minds. Which have massive production coming from out of the streets. This is where some of our greatest people are, and most of them wind up in prison or dead. The greatest attributes to our kingdom, because they've been attacked from the jump. Some make it out, some don't. So we have to start helping, identifying, moving forward with things, especially business development, especially networking, to be able to kind of hold hands together and support each other's businesses So just like every other people do. We don't do it. We have to. We have to incorporate with what we call white people. We have to incorporate with what we call Chinese people. We have to incorporate with Arabs. We have to incorporate with whatever people want to call themselves. It's not even important. It's what they can do. Ain't nothing like having a marketing team with a Chinese guy, Asian guy, an African guy, a French guy, a European, 4 U.S. citizens, which 2 are black and 2 are white. We got 1 guy from Spain, 1 guy from Russia. It's not like having a marketing team like that. It's kind of hard to stop a marketing team like that. It takes love, trust for a team like that to even start. It's very, very important. But I'm going. There's a hurricane, they say. We're demonstrating how we're pushing it away. We're pushing it away. It's a demonstration. I say peace and love to everyone, and enjoy your day.